Hey everyone, welcome back to another POV Drive. This is Eugene, and today we're doing something a little bit different, and obviously, as you can tell, biggest change being that I'm actually talking in this video. And I'm doing this because I thought it might be a better way of communicating with everyone about the different vehicles I drive and how I feel about them, since so many of you guys asked questions. So why not get it kicked off with something a little bit different, like this 2023 Infiniti QX80 Sensory. This is not my daily driver. This is actually just a loaner from the dealership while my daily driver's being looked at for some ECM issues. It's been going on for quite a while now, but the dealership was able to get me a loaner vehicle finally for the time being. So I figured, why not take this opportunity, take it on a drive, and give you some initial impressions. I've had this car for a few days now, and so far, so good. This QX80 is powered by a 5.6 liter naturally aspirated 32 valve V8. Something you don't really see much anymore these days. It's a bit of a dated engine. I think Infiniti's been using this in the QX80 and the Nissan Armada, or internationally as it's known as the Nissan Patrol, for the last decade or so. And that's actually one of the things I like about this vehicle. It's kind of feels old school, and it's because it is. I don't think they've changed the formula for this vehicle much at all in the past 12-13 years it's been out. If you look inside here, we got simple gauge clusters, very simple, easy to read, and physical buttons and knobs, something you don't see every day. They've tacked on the screen for, I think, 2022, and it's not the best screen out there, but it's certainly better than what they used to have in the pre-facelift models. It comes with wireless Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto, which I think is an interesting option. Not sure why they just don't give us both wireless CarPlay and Auto, but it works fine. As you can see, I have Android Auto plugged in, and not really sure what's going on here, but it doesn't make use of the entire screen. I know Infiniti's InTouch system has a dual screen setup going on where it splits the left and right sides, but it doesn't make use of all the real estate, which is kind of a shame, because the display itself is pretty good. It moves, decent feedback and response, all the standard apps that you normally get if you don't want to use it. There it is. Pretty mediocre infotainment system by today's standards, but I don't really care for all that, so not a deal breaker for me. This V8 makes 400 horsepower, 413 pound-feet of torque, which is a healthy amount to get things moving. As you can see, it's made it to a 7-speed automatic with rev match downshifts. Pretty decent transmission. Actually, I think the thing I like most about the transmission is that the gears are long. It behaves like a 6-speed, which is great for towing situations. It holds gears pretty long, and the gears themselves are pretty long as well. So it's not constantly hunting for gears, which is something I absolutely despise about these newer 8, 9, and 10-speed transmissions these days. Always hunting for a gear. I just wanted to pick one and stick with it. Of course, my daily drivers both have 5-speed automatics. I don't have that problem, so I'm not used to that kind of gear hunting. So this is kind of a welcome change. Seems to select the gear I usually want it to. If we switch it over to manual mode, responds pretty well. Overall, decent driving dynamics from the powertrain. Of course, the big downside from this 5.6 is the fuel economy, but I don't know what you're going to expect with a vehicle this size. It's not that great. It's a thirsty vehicle. Right now I'm averaging 13.4 miles per gallon, and that's mostly city and a bit of spirited highway driving. I think the EPA rating for this is 13 city, 19 highway for the 4x4, which this one is. So if you're looking for something fuel efficient, suggest looking elsewhere. It's a great sounding engine though. Gotta love this rush hour traffic. Don't know why I picked this route today, but here we are. Yeah, that's a nice sound. Here it is from the outside. An anthracite gray. Pretty nice color, if you ask me. I love these 22-inch dark gray wheels. Power liftgate. It does take quite some time. Power third row. It does take quite a while for it to go down. Let's see. Looks like we got some 12-volt outlets back here. Overall, a pretty decent looking design. It's certainly much improved from its pre-facelifted, I can't say that word today, the beluga whale. A bit of a departure from that. I think it looks pretty handsome in this spec. Take a look at the rear seats. Actually open this cubby hole from both the front and the back. It's very interesting. Some climate controls from back here. Some cup holders. Ooh, it looks like my heated seat is on. No wonder it was so hot. Massive cubby hole here. Looks like this one's spec'd with the captain's chairs. I believe you can also get a bench seat format for back here as well. Just get back into the third row. Pretty easy access. A bit of a climb though. To be expected with third row. It's a bit tight. I'm not that tall and I have pretty short legs, but it's a bit of a squeeze back here. But that's what you get with third row seating. Getting out is a bit of a hassle too. While we're here, might as well look at the power plant. There's your 5.6 liter naturally aspirated V8, direct injected. Seating position's pretty high. I'm currently all the way down, but it does give you great visibility. You can see the lines, you can see the road, and the window line, it's not too high either. So you get a nice commanding view of the road. The rest of the interior is pretty standard Nissan Infiniti. And honestly, while I do like the fact that it is old school, it's got nice big buttons and dials, nicely laid out, and it doesn't separate itself much from the Nissan Armada that it's based on. And I think that's a shame, because this vehicle, equipped the way it is $90,000. You can get a loaded Nissan Armada for about 72, 73 grand. And it pretty much looks identical in here. You can get the quilted seats that are in here in the Armada. Steering wheel is pretty much the same. The gauge cluster, the screen. Actually, this entire layout is virtually identical. Even this nice wood trim that wraps around the entirety of the vehicle, you can find on the Armada. So that makes me wonder, is it worth the almost $20,000 price premium for one of these? I don't know. Hustles. guess that does it for today's video. Thanks for bearing with this new format of mine. I don't know if I'll try it again, but for now, have a good one.